Unrest and violence on the streets of downtown Portland. Things get ugly fast. Protesters try to take over bridges and even run onto the freeway. Police in riot gear try to calm things down. Have they gotten things under control tonight? At 11 o'clock, good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Gianola.
And I'm Ann State. We have complete coverage of the chaos here, as well as Chris Van Cleve in Ferguson, Missouri. Our Jennifer Hoff is at the end of tonight's march. Chris Holmstrom has reaction from police, but we start things off with Joel Iwanaga. He was with these protesters most of the night. Joel.
Well, Ann and Jeff, good evening to you guys. Things first turned ugly when protesters clashed with police on the west end of the Morrison Bridge. Now, protesters eventually made it to the east side of the river where, as you mentioned, things got extremely tense when several dozen of these marchers took over Interstate 5. Hands up, don't shoot. The mantra heard from Ferguson to Portland. Protesters clash with police, officers in riot gear. Watch as a Portland officer uses force against a protester on the west side of the Morrison Bridge as marchers try to break through this police barricade. The protest turns violent. Police were successful in preventing a breach, but not for long. Protesters then stopped traffic on the Burnside Bridge, where officers remained in the background, but moments later.
Get back! Get back! Get back!
In a dangerous move, protesters ran through a second police blockade onto northbound I-5 near the Banfield. The chaos stopped traffic. Officers in formation then made their move as protesters scrambled. Our KOIN 6 News cameras caught this protester in handcuffs. I asked why risk their lives to go on the freeway.
Is this the right thing to do, block traffic on I-5?
So the goal of it, we were discussing, is to shut down the infrastructure as kind of a metaphor to say this is our city, we control it.
Anger reaching the boiling point. Protesters say the shooting death of an unarmed teenager in Ferguson was senseless, and some fear it'll happen here in Portland.
If you have a badge, you can shoot a black kid. I wonder about it for me. If I'm out here next time, are they going to shoot me? The way they talk to us out here is really sad. It's really ridiculous. They treat you like you're a piece of garbage.
But police say break the law, there will be consequences. While those attending the rally argue change is needed and the time is now. Now, I've covered a lot of these protests here in Portland. I can tell you this was one of the largest and angriest. In the newsroom tonight, Joel Iwanaga, KOIN 6 News. Ann, we'll send it back to you.
Joel, thank you. And our complete coverage continues now with Jennifer Hoff.
Jennifer's down on the waterfront where protesters ended their march tonight, and she picks up the story from there. Jennifer?
Good evening, Jeff and Ann. Well, there was some rowdiness at the start of the protest, like you just saw. Things ended very peacefully down here at the waterfront. There was also a sense of accomplishment of sorts throughout the crowd, according to some of the marchers that we spoke to. Take a look at some of the video that we shot tonight. That feeling of accomplishment was obvious first outside Providence Park at Southwest 18th and Morrison. That's where protesters gathered before the waterfront here, and tensions felt especially high there. It was started between two groups there. Here, police were telling the protesters there to move to the sidewalk because the vehicles were trying to get down the road, while the protesters were just asking police to move so that they could keep marching. A loud cheer erupted when the officers eventually backed off, and the group sang that popular Steam song, Goodbye, and then they started to move down Salmon Street to NATO Parkway. And after they gathered here at the waterfront, the protesters tell me tonight really made a difference.
What we did today definitely changed and definitely made a change. And I totally 100% agree that what we're doing now, and we will continue to do it, it's going to make a change until something happens.
Now, we noticed a real difference in opinion. It's very generational, too. A lot of the older folks, they want peace. The young people don't, and they have demanded that this is a revolution and that it will not end peacefully. But Jeff and Ann, as for tonight, at least it has ended. The group made their way again down to the waterfront. There was a leader that was chosen randomly for the group. He made a speech tonight, and there was no police presence down at the waterfront. Reporting live here in downtown Portland, I'm Jennifer Hoff for KOIN 6 News.
Jennifer, thank you. We now continue with our reporter, Chris Holmstrom.
We sent him to talk to Portland police about how everything played out tonight. He's live with this. Chris.
Jeff Nann, it was obvious there were two types of protests today. One a little more peaceful, the other one a little more out of control, making it very tough for Portland police.
You are subject to arrest if you do not disperse and you continue to cause a disturbance. This is the Portland Police Bureau.
Now, this was taken in southeast Portland near the Morrison Bridge. You can see police trying to get protesters off of the bridge and out of the streets. Police tell me this is the moment when things started to get out of control. Now, aside from blocking traffic, police say some of the protesters were engaging in criminal activity. This includes throwing rocks and bottles at officers, and I'm told that's when they started using pepper spray and made arrests. I spoke with Pete Simpson tonight about the event.
It's okay to be angry, right? It's okay to have feelings, but when you combine that with assaulting people in cars or breaking someone's property that's not yours, then you've really overstepped the bounds, and your message, whatever it may be, is going to be drowned out by the criminal behavior you're exhibiting.
And I've learned police arrested 7 people tonight for unlawful behavior. I also found out police found 2 people with guns, but they say that is part of their Second Amendment rights. They also want people to know if your car or property was vandalized to give police a call immediately. Reporting live in downtown Portland, I'm Chris Holmstrom for KOIN 6 News.
Thank you, Chris. And of course, it's important to remember that today's protest started with a peaceful rally that took place in front of the Justice Center.
The Albina Ministerial Alliance organized the rally. They called it a call for change.
There is no justice and fairness when it comes to a white police officer killing black and brown and poor people and mentally ill people.
And the speakers remembered the local people shot and killed by Portland police. They encouraged people to use the ballot box and to start a movement to change what they call a broken criminal justice system. Now,